Alright, people. How's it going, everybody? Time to turn around and get ready for it. Hopefully we'll make a good Friday of this. Zane, Eamon, David Master, Barry, Paul. Alright, okay, everybody's turning up in a hurry. I'm going to lose my voice before I even get a chance to get going. Vic, Ed, Jim. Jim's here. I don't have to message Jim. Zane Smith's here. Alright. Messages. Interesting. Alright. Rightio. So, I've got a bit of about a month ago I make a UnionRepair order. And finally, after chasing around for the couriers and everything like that, and complaining and all the rest of it, it actually magically shows up. No sorry note, no nothing, just package just turns up on my doorstep a month late. But better late than never, I suppose I say. Anyway, a fair number of the things have already been taken out. They're just the normal MacBook parts that we don't care about. To be fair, these are not from UnionRepair. These are something else that I picked up from AliExpress. These are meant to be for removing batteries out of MacBooks. So I don't know how they work, but what happened is someone on Facebook was looking for them because they liked them for taking batteries out on MacBooks, and they couldn't find another one. So I went on to AliExpress and, trying to be the social hero that I am. Yeah. And, so I managed to find a supplier of them, and I thought, well, I'll order myself a couple as well and see what they're like. Since this person seems to like them for taking batteries out of MacBooks, I'll give it a shot. Always interesting to see what other techniques people are using. I don't know how good they will be, but they seem to be fairly flexible and tough, so one of these days we'll give it a shot. So that's just from AliExpress. And let's see, this was the main thing that I was waiting for from UnionRepair, so I can try and fix this iPhone 10. To the best of my knowledge, this iPhone 10 sandwich board, there's a short circuit in it somewhere, so that's why I was waiting on this, and quite frankly I have no idea what the heck, how to even use this thing. It's probably gonna catch on fire and burn down. Let's see, does that even fit there? Who knows? I don't know. Do you know? I've seen Jason Vilmer use this to great level of success. So if he can do it, surely I can do it. Yeah, there's got to be some secret handshake on how to do this, I'm sure. I know you got to set it up and leave it for 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. It feels kind of like it should be around about there. It doesn't quite 100% put... Oh, there we go. Alright, so we've got it in position. Now we wait. It's not separated yet. What, does this thing need power or something? Yeah, scary thing about these is it looks like they're using DC, I think they're XT60 connectors. I'm pretty sure XT60 is 6mm gap. And they're going to carry 240 volts because this is the power cable that they give you. So the horrible two-prong American style fallout anytime any weight is on it, with a standard switch body. And then, I'm fairly sure that's an XT60 connector or something close to it. So it does have enough distance for 240 volts, but I'm still a bit dubious about it, and the cable itself feels really dubious. I would like to change that to something a little more secure, but we'll see what we can do. There's guides. I think there's a guide for the motherboard. Yeah, maybe. Hey Warren, Nick. So let's see. Well, first thing I'm going to do is, would have been nice if they had just a standard kettle connector. I mean, would it kill them to have a standard figure of 8 kettle connector? Apparently so. Instead, I've got to use this horrible contraption to plug in. I mean, it's just like a death sentence, really. So I'm going to plug that in. See what happens. I figure it's going to take me 6 or 7 minutes, at least according to Jason Vilmer. And I need to find a little screw, I believe, to put into there so I can lift it up. Let's see if switch it on and anything goes up in smoke, eh? Okay, that's on. Ah, the red. Okay, the light's on. So, what is the time now? 22:51. So I figure by 11 o'clock it should be ready to have that separated. Let's see. I bought myself some blank boards so I can build my own iPhone 10 if I wanted to. Yeah, it's 240 volts. It's pretty damn dangerous. Really do not feel comfortable with that at all. Not even remotely close. Now, the main reason why I'm getting these boards is so that I can put them into my flatbed scanner. I have one of those medium quality Epson ones that will do a full 3D scan. It's not just purely on the surface, it does a proper 3D scan. So I'm going to put those in, scan them in, and then that way I can overlay them onto Flexboard View. That's a project I've been working on for a long time. Do they need calibrating? No, there's no calibration option. Oh, that's warm. It just seems to be a case of turn it on and hope for the best. And what's this one? Oh, this is an iPhone 8 Plus. 8 Plus with a large daughter board attached to it. Yeah, okay, we'll have to grind that off. Quite thin. About, what are they, 1mm? It's pretty impressive really that they have the quality and everything like that these days. It is quite a masterful bit of engineering really, to think that there's 6 or 7 layers in those boards. Please use your thermal camera on the hot plate. It's just going to show it's hot. Okay, so I don't need that. It's junk, more rubbish to the world. Fantastic. I also did my first iPhone 10 screen replacement today with a XR Soft series. So one of these things was this GX Soft OLED. And it went fine, thankfully. The person's Face ID wasn't working, but that wasn't my fault. It was smashed from their previous job. Okay, so what's the steel mesh? This is XS Max and XR. Now the only reason why I'm buying these stencils is not because I think I'm going to use them for the iPhones per se, but I find they have a lot of really good generic fine pitch stencils on them, so you can use them for other parts that we're finding on the MacBooks a lot. So yeah, but it's a little bit. I'm not sure how good or bad that one's going to be. What's this one? I think this is a yeah, excess packaging, guys. Stop it. Okay, again, the same thing. iPhone 8. Again, lots of rectangular array, square hole assemblies. So yeah, it's more for if I can't find a stencil for what I really want and I'm looking around for some sort of generic square rectangular one that I can use. That's when I call upon these. Okay, these are the... I couldn't get the tweezers I really wanted, so I thought I'd buy a bulk lot of these ones. Hey Tony. So these are the ones I really wanted. You've seen me use them a fair bit before. You've seen me cut them in half and turn them into little probes. Man, that thing's stinking up the place now. And these are the... hopefully the same-ish thing. And they're not. They are different. These got a very light touch. Doesn't require a lot of pressure to close them up. These ones require quite a lot more pressure, and they've got a far more aggressive cut down. Yeah, no, that's not really, I don't think, what I was after. They do have the superfine point, but it's not actually as good as these ones. So I've kind of bought a bunch of those for no good reason, it seems. That sucks. And you might wonder, why did I buy 4 if I was not even sure what I was going to get? Mostly because otherwise I end up this situation where I bought 2, I broke 1, and now I've only got 1 left and I can't find a replacement. So if I'm going to buy something that I think might be what I'm after, I guess I try to get multiples of them to get me through. But yeah, these are too thick. I'll give them a go, but the angle of them and everything like that really is nowhere near as... these are about 2 or 3 times thicker than these ones. So I'm going to have to be very careful with these, make sure I don't lose them. These ones are just the generics. I don't even remember ordering these, in fact. I don't think they're on my order. I don't know why they're in my package. Yeah, these are... they're okay. Funnily enough, they've got a finer approach. They've got a finer angle than these ones. And softer feel. It's almost like... if I was to try and replicate these, I would probably use these as a starter. And then grind down the tip. But yeah, these black ones, I think they're going to be a case of they don't really fit themselves into any particular situation that I want to use them in. Bit of a bugger. Oh well. What's that like? They're about $8 each too, these ones, so that was a little more money than I was wanting to waste, perhaps. We'll keep one out just so I can try and use it, see how it goes. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. I'm an influencer, hardly. I'll stick all these tweezers into my tweezer box. How are we going? Okay, we're a minute away from this thing. And I forgot to put the screw in it. For fire sucking sake. Ah, jeez. I need a screw. Hopefully one of these will fit, and hopefully I won't upset the... foolish fool. Okay. Now, which one? I'm pretty damn sure it's this one here. You little bastards, you're all flippin' tri-wingers. No, no good. I'm gonna have to actually turn this off. I need to find a screw that will fit into the... Okay. Try my 4S container, that often has good supply. And I need to put my glasses on because my screwdrivers are a little too long to be able to do anything under the microscope. Looks like Teresa's the juvenile tonight. Oh, what do you know? First guess and I got it. Lucky me. Jason makes this look so damn easy. Let me guess, I've got to cut that. Oh, you got to cut that, don't you? Someone told me I've got to cut that, right? Paul has never separated an iPhone 10 before. 3 years after they've come out, or whatever it is, I still haven't gotten one. So yeah, I've got to cut this, don't I? Where the hell's Jason when I need him? As usual, not helping me. Luke, if you found an immaculate 1466 board, chances are there's something wrong with it. Well, they kind of flicked off and all sorts of stuff, but we did get it apart. So there you go. It works. Yeah, I think the problem was that the first problem was that the tape had to be cut. Hopefully I didn't mangle it too much. At least we found the right screw. Was it in an anti-static bag? Alright, maybe you're onto something there. More than likely though, I find if I found a board that seems to be too good to be true, it's because it's got some sort of critical fault in it that no one's been able to find. U1900. What chip's that? 4924 U1900. I recognise that, but I don't know where from. Search, find a part. It should be on a lot of boards there. Is that the clock chip? Oh, that's the RTC clock chip. Yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah, the search should be on your 165, your 3437s. It's on all sorts of boards. Yeah, so there you go. Let's see. 6 skills. Yeah, you. 4924, 3437, 3787, 165, 3437. Pretty much all of the common 2013 to 2015 boards. Thank you, Andrew Hughes. Yeah, so it should be any one of those. And when I change away now, you're going to have to buy Flex Board View so you can find it yourself. Alright. Right. Now let's see how much damage I did, eh? See how many pads I tore up. Now, as far as I understand or remember on this board, it had a problem with... Okay, it looks like I can already see we've got liquid damage down there. Maybe. Yeah, there's a bit of corrosion on there. Oh, it's still warm. Why didn't people tell me hot things got hot? You have open board view. Ah, right. Yeah, you won't be able to do the search then on that. But at least you know it is on the air boards. And at this point I realise I probably do not have unplugged that terrifying device. I do not have an actual proper circuit board holder for these boards. I knew I'd forget something in my order, and that was it. Yeah, I'd imagine in 3D printing you'd get burned a fair bit. The worst thing is, looks like there was another. This here was probably causing me some grief. That little piece of plastic tab there was restricting my ability to separate the. I'll know for next time if there ever is a next time. People are probably going to see my work on this and go, "Oh dear Lord, don't ever send anything to Paul." Also, from my understanding, don't mess with the solder or the flux, I think, on all those little thingamajigs around the place. As far as I understand from watching SDS Telecom, you just put it back down where it was and let it heat up again, and then just give it a little bit of a push and wiggle, and it should go back. It's been interesting talking to Jason about these sort of boards, because initially there was a bit of hesitation with all of us, of course, regarding these sandwich boards. And in the end, he just dived in and discovered that he actually prefers them compared to the previous ones. Okay, we're trying the tweezers that I'm perhaps regretting purchasing. I will admit they do have a fair bit of strength to them, so you can actually grip and pull. As far as I remember, this has a short circuit on it somewhere, because naturally now I don't remember exactly where. Yeah, I don't know my way around an iPhone 10 at all. If you do a clean pull, you might not have to reball before putting it back to. Well, that's Jason's basically saying, if you do just the straight lift up, then yeah, you absolutely shouldn't have to do any reballing. Just use it as it is. Put it straight back down. And given his success rate with them, I'm very inclined to believe him. I will say, one thing that distresses me about the iPhone 10 is just how many damn connectors it's got on it. It's like, I was kind of hoping with the newer models they would have a lot less connectors, but nope, that didn't work out. Okay, so I'm a little worried about this sort of stuff here. So there's a bit of, I don't know if that's flux or something else. Yeah, that looks like a bit of a burnout there. Well, it was a free iPhone 10, so I can't complain. How difficult is it to get this separator off? And that bit of scum there kind of makes me think we should just check those pads. Clearly they're okay. I'm not even looking, I'm just probing, hoping wishful thinking. Kind of hoping something just visually jumps out at me and says, "Hey, look at me, I'm broken. I'm shorted. I'm a shattered cat." Something like that. Yeah, there's definitely corrosion there and there. What's under there? Sell it on eBay, would not turn on after update. Sadly, that probably is like how most of them are sold. Suppose I could always use the infrared camera on it. Though the infrared camera doesn't really work so well at these tiny areas. It'll give you a guide, but because it doesn't have a macro lens on it, you can't really get right into it. Can you power the top sideboard on its own? I imagine you can. Can you take this bottom film off? I don't know what I'm doing. I do have the board view, yes. Oxyacetylene, remove all the crud. Yeah, along with everything else. Yeah, sure. Six, 3, 1. Yeah, can you... I suppose instead of asking, I should just try. Put power on that top half of the board. iPhone 10. Set a bridge, I'm sure it's more than once that I can do this. Ah, wait, yeah, I see I got my orientation slightly wrong there, have I? But the question is, does it go this way? I don't think so. Or maybe. Actually, maybe, yeah, it is that way. Is it? Is it? Or is that just a freaky coincidence? No, I don't think it does. Oh, it does fit. Just like a few things in life, you just gotta push it a little harder. Okay. I think I'm gonna message Jason Vollmer and tell him to get his lazy holidaying, what do you call it? What state's he in? Florida. Florida. Lazy holidaying Florida butt into channel. He probably won't, but it's worth a shot. Jason Vollmer, where are you? I'm trying to fix an iPhone 10. I've got it split apart. Please help. live stream. Come bask in the limelight of your fame. There is a test for babies if they're smart or strong. What? No. He's probably going to ignore me. He's probably got real things to do, like scuba diving or, just fun stuff that people in Florida do, rather than actually work for a living. I'm just setting up the power supply at the moment. I'm going for 4 volts. Okay, 4 volts, 2 amps. Sounds good to me. You watch, it's not even going to fault. It's probably just fixed and fine now. Okay, power. That looks like it's booting. I see 12. I've seen it jump to oh, I thought that was amps for a second. I'm an idiot. Yeah, that looks like a booting sequence. So if there is a fault, it's in the other half. Throw a screen on it. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Can you throw a screen only on the top half? Okay, so you won't have touch, but you'll be able to see. Cool. Yeah, Jason's just ignoring me. He's a jerk. I don't know which one it is. Wait. Please stand by while Paul resets his brain. Okay, so that one goes down there, right. Okay. And I presume it's this one here. Yep. We don't need the camera side of things or anything else, do we? Qualcomm will boot without the bottom board, but the Intel will not. Okay, interesting. Hey Martin from Argentina. Can't say I'm overly game to put a brand new iPhone 10 screen on it. Not at the price I'm paying for the soft OLEDs. Doesn't look like... Nope. I'll try on the screen that I just took off today for the other person. Vaseline's convenient because it weighs the screen, weighs the cables and various things down. Yeah, the amperage is all over the place. Yep. Okay, this is the one that I fixed up today. Here's one I destroyed earlier, rather than prepared. Wow, I can't even get it to clip in. Okay, there we go. I admittingly don't know how good or bad this is. Hey, Titan Gaming. But yeah, that current is, you're right, it's all over the place. Can't make heads or tails of it. Thanks, Joseph. Yeah, Double King, just go to that page and you'll see the item that I use. Yeah, I can't make heads or tails of this. Check baseband CPU in the bottom board. See if it's good old Qualcomm. Okay, thanks. Glad to see we actually do have someone here who is useful. Since Jason's not here, because he hates us. Yeah, that screen had a little bit of an ouchie. I think it's a either a hard one or I'm not exactly sure. Let's see, how do I know if it's Intel or Qualcomm? Is that the bit that's under there, is it? Did you get the scope's wiggly fix? Doesn't appear to. Yeah, funny you should mention that. I haven't actually done anything, and yet you're right. It seems to have ceased. A Maven. Looks like Intel. Bugger. Yeah, I guess because if it was Qualcomm, they'd have the word Qualcomm all over it. They'd be like, look at me, I'm a Qualcomm. I should just collect this junk and put it in a zippy bag or something. And then I can use it again later. Okay, so it's not going to boot without the... Okay, so well, at least we know that the short, or at least what I think is a short, doesn't appear to be present on the top half, but actually that's a bad thing because it would have been nice if it was, because it would have been easier for us to work with. Because now, oh man, this stuff's a rotten mess. How do you guys cope with this crap? I mean, do you bother to replace it, or do you just leave it off? You just hope and pray. I'll have to solder it back together because I don't have one of the sandwich thingamajigs. I was looking at them, but I, at the moment, mostly send my fancy repairs off to people, qualified people such as Bill down at A1 Mobile Repairs in Melbourne. I don't do jobs that I don't feel I'm qualified for, and that's iPhone 10s in general. And hell, doing a screen was already scary enough for me. Funnily enough, I must admit the screens are easier than I feared. Assuming you pay the money to get a decent screen in the first place. Ultrasonic at first, maybe? Yeah. Kind of in two minds about that, to be honest. And it looks like we've got an A12 CPU there. Right, so that explains why you can boot on the top for me, because the CPU is on that layer. Got it. Starting to make sense for me. Bits and pieces. Unfortunately, I don't have a second board, so I can't just swap it around. Yeah, to try and isolate the fault. So in a way, you could sort of say that tonight's activities are a bit of a... I'm subjecting myself to my own training school. Well, like I said, at least we know it's definitely not a short directly in here. That means we're going to have to probe around with the multimeter to find the short down here somewhere. Now, rather than resorting to the board view, I can pretty much just randomly probe on various big capacitors, and hopefully we might get a hit. Barry, let's see, for main info only, is the other half considered a component board? Good question, I don't know. It's interesting because the non-CPU half is actually the bigger half of the board. Original fault is that it won't power up, it's got a short. As soon as you try to power it up through the DC power supply, it shorts out. Power using your FLIR, yeah. As long as all the pads are good, you know, flux and heat, check the spaces, and then you can set back together without rebuild. Oh yeah, yeah. Fortunately, I had watched Jason Vilmer's videos and made note of that particular behavior, because I know that a lot of people were like cleaning up all the pads and things like that and finding they're having a hell of a time getting everything back together nicely, and then he just said, well, just don't mess with it the first time and you'll be right. They're all the same rail, Paul. Oh no, it's an inductor. Just wanted to see if you guys were awake. What if there's not even a short? What if it's something completely different? What if it was just the screen, but then that would have actually... you would have thought that would have played up when I plugged it in. You would have thought it'd be near that corrosion crap that we saw earlier. How bad is he going to feel finding out he could have been please broed? What? Who? I can't really bring out the FLIR. Big problem is that once you close this up, you can't see what's going on inside. I imagine that's going to be the case anyway if I have a sandwich board too. They're the same rail. Yeah, I'm not really getting a sense of any shorts around here. Let's see if there's any skirts or underwear. Same rail. You can inject VDD main into it, can you? Okay, I'll have to have a look on the board view and see if I can do that. What I might do is put it back together and re-establish... What is that? Is that just a little alignment tab? No, that is a pad where the spacer has popped up as I pulled it off. These special spaces that people for a long time didn't realize actually were on there, and they would lose them when they would clean up all the pads. So there's another one there, and another one there. So yeah, people would be cleaning these little spaces off, not realizing, and then they were ruining the ability for it to come back together. Okay, so we'll just hot air that back down. The gold, as in, I'd imagine just gold plated. If they're solid gold, that'd be a very good reason to steal a bunch of iPhone 10 series. Oops. Not using a lot of hot air here, I'm just want enough to probably should change my nozzle. There we go. I just want to put it back together, see what happens. Honestly, it looks like there's... Yeah, I'll put a bit of flux on there. I don't want to put too much on. Especially considering this is not approved flux. The T2 chip on this will recognize that this is in fact MacBook flux and it will reject it. If anyone believes anything I'm saying, please check into the local mental asylum. Alright. I think I've already forgotten now how I did this. I need to put a big pencil line or something so I can remember. Damn it, I feel like an idiot. Is that it there? I think this is it. Yeah, that's it. And we plug in the suicide device again. Honestly, I do not feel comfortable at all using this. It does not have the level of electrical safety that I feel comfortable with. Use a black marker, yeah. Except it's probably going to get hot and then start stinking up. So their screen did get damage, liquid damage, but again, I wonder if it was maybe... I was very upset with this. When I took this one off, I broke the screen. I was not happy about that. Let's see if there you can see the crack there. Yeah, still isolation transformers themselves can lead to their own issues. I think the best thing for me to do in this instance is to probably open this up, even though they have sealed it rather than screwed, and replace this portion of the flex. This portion of the flex, we'll just have to live with it. So dropped and created minor separation is what you're sticking to. Okay, Barry, well, let's see what goes on. Did you check the other half? See spaces standing up? I did not. Damn you. Why do you have to make me... It definitely, when I was pushing it down, I couldn't feel anything. That would feel like a spacer. Pardon me. Interesting that the camera can pick up the blinking of the LED. So what time we got? 23:36. So we were playing around with this for half an hour. I'd say. Hey, Sophie Weaver, welcome. Welcome to watching a Australian tech guy not know what he's doing. By the way, any fellow Australians, you obviously would have heard the tragic news about Dino passing. Way too young. All out for 59, was it? Yeah, it was not good. Didn't see that coming. How are you supposed to be able to tell when this is dropped? That's what I want to know. Failure attracts audience. I think also saying free iPhone 10 attracts audience. Hey Pedro. Yeah, how are you supposed to know when this is dropped? That's what I want to know now. If you worked out the fault before starting the stream, you'd be Lewis. You're supposed to look from the side. Oh, Sophie, whereabouts in Australia are you from? I suppose the static tension should be enough. Seems like I've got a bit of lifting on this side still. Focus seems a bit wonky, doesn't it? Okay, it's starting to smoke. But I can't seem to... It keeps wanting to lift up at this side for some reason. And imagine it's supposed to sit down. Oh, in the westy wastelands of Sydney. Alright. Test it with the heat. Typically not sit flat and sometimes need weight added to the top. Oh, okay, right. So I'm kind of... You're basically saying I'm now stuffed. It's definitely buckling, I'll give you that. So how am I supposed to cope with this? Just put some Vaseline on it? But seriously, it's like, how do people normally get this sandwich to sit back down properly? Coins are the best. Oh, great. All my coins are downstairs. Might have to go get some. Shoot. That was... I don't know if it actually even reflowed the top. Stack some coins front and back. Okay, I'll go get some coins. Yeah, because that's not working. Oh, be right back, folks. Okay. So I got some 50-cent coins. I reckon a pair of 50s on one side will do a good job. And maybe a pair of 2s up here. Is this thing still on? No, it's not. Yeah. Let me just check something. Crikey, they got warm. It's actually... Seeing in the time that I was gone, it has managed to adhere itself back to go cool back down. And we are indeed stuck with the... Okay, I see the problem here. Is this damn thing here was actually probably pulling it down a little bit. It's not a good start. So I'll put some coins on, bring it back up to temperature, and hopefully it will correct itself without me meddling with it. Your audio sounds blah, B-L-A-A. What is B-L-A-A? People using audio terminology that I simply am unaware of. Maybe a pair of 20s. Okay, so we've got the 1989 Queen and Platypus duking it out. Oh, never noticed that. What is this? RDM? Interesting. Never seen that before. Guess I've never looked at coins under the microscope. There's actually a cat in a box at my house. Why is there a cat in a box at your house? And why aren't you letting it out of the box? What's going on there? Be fair. Be aware that this is a very pro-cat channel. IRB. Interesting. Artist initial. The stuff you never cared to look at before at a coin. I know there's some variations of coins that are worth quite a bit, like there's a double stamped $2 or $1 coin that apparently is worth a bit. You know, it's kind of spooky when they do the eyes like that. So 2013. Which one's this? 2011. 2010. Yeah, almost had a full house. What's that? You don't want to what? You see how they added the Queen's double chin? Did they? Well, there they really did. Oh wow, they really did. Let's see. Let's have a look at what the Queen looks like in 1989. Yeah, you're right. No double chin there. Huh? That's funny. Okay, I'd say I'm probably right to let this cool off now. Turned it off. It hissed at you. Sophie, why is it even in the... How did it get in the box? How did it get to your doorstep? Why is it in the box? Should animal services be called? You're leaving it for your mum. How far away is your mum going to be in terms of time? James, you were born in 1989. Crikey. Now, I finished school in 1990. It's kind of scary. I think Sophie is 9 years old. Alright, fair enough. Alright, so we just got to wait here for this contraption to cool down. I don't know how long this is going to take to cool down before I can actually lift it off. So we're currently at 23:48 time, so I'd imagine by 23:50 we should be able to take it off. Sophie is 9. Well, it's a good thing that this channel, whilst not strictly declared as child friendly, it tends not to be unfriendly either. Yeah, time definitely does fly. And to think that, when I walked out of school, as in when I finished grade 12 at the end of 1990, it was just like, yeah, I've got all the time in the world. But I mean, I went straight to my personal projects. That afternoon I didn't go off partying or anything, just went straight to my personal projects, programming and fish and things like that. And here we are, 30 odd years later, and 30 years later, still haven't done much. Why is Vaseline there? Vaseline is a weight. There's got a fair bit of weight in it. It's a convenient shape sometimes. It just seems to work well as a mass. RDM is Rafael Makloff. Okay, right. Good day. Sometimes the stuff you do to boards I don't know. Okay. Let me guess, that's going to be a little warm. I'm kind of a little bit scared of picking up the coins, to be honest. A little warm, yes. I feel like Raiders of the Lost Ark or whatever it is, and right, definitely warm. Well, that certainly looks a lot better, so the coin trick appears to have done the trick, as it were. Thank you very much for that tip. Greatly appreciated. Hot coins or cold cash? I'll take a big wad of cold cash, thanks. Use the scrapers next time. Yeah, what's the point of... The scrapers are too big. Maven, yes, this is the iX5. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Mechanic, yeah, iX5. Unfortunately, this is upside down because I am in Australia, so therefore images of this nature will tend to be inverted. Ah, that's a hot board. Disconnected from the power. Well, that money still is retaining its heat very well. Yes, well, fellow Australians will see it correctly and naturally. I mean, that should go without saying. Jim's asking the right sort of questions. It is kind of curious how that happened. I mean, personally, I consider that to be slightly open. You can just see some of those connections there are very borderline. but it might do the job. So it looks like more coins are required for the next time, but the alignment at least seems to be pretty much right. Glasses. I'm kind of sad how dependent I am on those now for this sort of work. Under the microscope, obviously no problem because you adjust the microscope focus to your own eyes, but in real life, gee, no glasses. I'm going to have to get another pair of these for upstairs. Ah, idiot. Idiot with a J. For those who are unsure where that comes from, it's supernatural. Okay, so here we go. Okay, no short immediately. Current's still low. I probably should have tried the broken screen. See, we're showing 1 amp and all that, which would indicate that it's given a pretty hard boot there. 700, but nothing's coming up on screen. Yeah, micromanage repair, it's no fun, is it? No fun at all. Shoot. So do I have a bad backlight connection or... Oh wait, it's OLED. Backlight doesn't count. Okay, what happened with Sophie? Sophie started to become a fake. How friendly are you with Jessa from iPad Rehab? We don't really talk that much. Really don't have a lot of discussions between each other. Even though we're both academic type people, we have rather different sort of... I don't know, we just seem to be different. Again, nothing showing up. Let's see, does that change when I turn it off? No, it doesn't. Okay. Sophie's a bot, is she? Thanks. Yeah, I've got nothing showing up. Steve K, I think we'd probably have to actually be face to face, like in person. She's a far more teacher pedantic type person than I am. I'm a little bit too gung-ho flippant. We both like, science and academic stuff, but our approaches are very different. What supplies are... let's see, Maven, it's a multi-comp MP... It's a multi-comp. Yeah. But yeah, I got nothing here. So I don't know whether I've got two dud displays or what. I don't have a reference, that's the trouble. So I don't know what to do. Different kind of pedantic, Nikita. A different kind of pedantic. I'm gonna ruin that power connector at this rate. Yeah, Teresa, that's a key difference, and that's why I think we really would have to sort of meet face to face, because when it's over the internet, a lot of things get lost, and I think we can misinterpret each other a little bit, resulting in potentially some degree of animosity. Not like real animosity, but just simply like, I don't understand what's going on, or so much better, I think, if it was real life contact. Look up charge port, see if it picks up iTunes. Yeah, I suppose I should do that. See if at least, maybe it's in DFU mode for all I know. But then again, it kind of does bounce around a little bit too much for DFU. I don't know if either screen is good. That's the other half of the problem. This is my only iPhone 10. Try putting a battery on it. Okay. Yeah, look, you know, I mean, by all means, I'm gonna give it a shot. If I can remember how to get these boards in. I remember these iPhone 10 boards, in the very few times that I have had to take them out and put them back together, have been absolute flippin' nightmare. So surely there's got to be a tech trick to it. Try a battery together with 5 volt supply by power supply. Well, I can't do them concurrently. Been watching a gunsmithing channel, and his statement is, it's only the newer ones is true. You do take a lot of care of devices. Sorry, what do you mean by it's only new ones is true? Not sure. I'm not exactly sure what I must or must not or don't need to connect here, but I guess I'm just going to plug in anything and everything. Help stabilize the board if nothing else. Okay, that's my... Okay, that makes sense, that one. That's cameras. That there obviously is that. So, at least I know I'm right for there. I'm going to plug in this GX, whatever the hell it is. I have a feeling though this is a hard OLED. And it's probably not much chop, but I at least want to see if there's any sort of activity. Okay, charge current. Charging. It is 1.2 or 1.3 amps now. 2.2 amps. And then drops off. 2.3 amps. What the? What was that? I'm gonna guess that was the Taptic engine. Okay, it's booted. Yeah, that's booted. All right. So we just don't seem to have a display for some reason. Oh, the GX hard, or at least I think it was GX hard, was what I replaced off today. I'm guessing it's GX hard. I don't know. The ones I've been supplied with are GX soft. I'm kind of wondering whether I should plug this in or not, because this is 130, 140 Australian dollars. And if I get it wrong, it's if it's doing damage to the screens, then that's an expensive little mistake. I guess we're going to try one anyway, aren't we? Hey, Finesse. So, wish me luck as I risk my stock on this. And if it blows up, I'm blaming someone. Anyone but me. Plug it in, it'll be fun. Ha! Famous words, usually last ones. No display. Oh. Huh. There we go. Fixed. I don't know what's on this screen though. I don't know what's going to come up, so I really should do the customer protection. Yep, good thing I did. Some kid. That's immediately fading out really dark. There'll be the sensors, won't it? Okay. It's very, very dark, but it is there. Oh, and I know why I wasn't booting with the power button before, because that's probably one of the connectors up the top, isn't it? One of the ones at the top of the circuit board, and I did not reconnect that. Right. Yeah, no procs hooked up. That's because there's no procs on this one, because the display obviously is... Yeah. Let me take the procs off the old one. And at least I can plug it in if nothing else. I'm going to ask the person if they can send me the passcode. Ooh, someone paid me money. I'm repairing that old iPhone 10 that you left with me about a year ago, and I was just wondering if the passcode was something you could still remember, because I may be able to get the pictures off it for you as well. Thank you. What's the difference between C and C++? Well, two very different languages, really. But thanks to the glory of the compilers, we kind of got spoiled and were able to mash them together in a horrible sort of combination. But strictly speaking, C is a very distinct language from C++. But as it is per normal with human behavior, we found a way to come up with what we really prefer as a language, as some sort of mishmash between the two. Personally, I'm a C person who uses now some C++ aspects, namely vectors and strings and things like that. I've got okay. Okay, where's the retainer clip on this one? Oh, this doesn't. Oh, they don't have them. Okay. On the XR, there's a little metal clip that sits over the ambient light thingy, but it seems like that is not the case with the 10. Interesting. Didn't realize that. I might use a little bit of heat just to soften them off. Not too much, because I've found those plastic guides for the cameras, they just melt. They're like hot glue. They just melt at the drop of the hat. Fortunately, the person that left this here with me, they gave it to me, but they are really good, so hopefully they will remember their passcode and we can get the data off for them. I don't think it was very imperative at the time that they dropped it off to get the data. It was more just like, it'd be nice to have it, as opposed to we must have it. Okay, I'm kind of butchering this, to be honest. I don't know why I'm even doing this. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna enjoy the study. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Oh dear God, did I just drop that on my good screen? Thankfully not. That was the hard OLED. Right, my elbow just fell off. Because every time it falls off, I put it back up, and I don't bother to secure it properly again. Instead, I just shove it in harder, and hope that it won't fall out again. Okay. Yeah, with the XR, there's a little retainer metal bracket that sits over the top of this to stop it from moving around. There's probably better ways of getting these out, but so far I haven't found one. Other than hoping that it just simply comes out freely on its own will. There we go. Come on. And yeah, this is where I was thinking one of those is going to be the on-off button, as it were. I don't know which one. Use a pair of 20-inch fencing pliers. That'll do the trick. One way or another. No, still not soft beating on that. Okay. Maybe that isn't one of the button connectors. Get the battery. Yeah, that's good. Yep. Okay, so yep, there you go. Might have been the battery was perhaps a little bit too low. Well, seems to work. That brightness is a bit much. Oh well. So maybe I've scored myself an iPhone 10. At least I managed to get the board apart and then put it back together without ruining it. And if I can get the pin code for this, and yeah, if I check back actually on my, I'm going to check back on my discussion logs, and it may actually already be in there. Unless it was in the phone before I changed over to the iPhone 7 Plus. In which case I will not have it anymore. iPhone 7s. No, that's from April this year. Crud. I'm going to check some other accounts. No, it's not really. I mean, they probably will be happy to have the data, but it's not a necessity. The upside is at least I'll need to make contact with them anyway in order to get their Apple ID and password. Okay, previous 2 years of invoices. Hey Jaden. Yeah, they gifted it to me. It's not the first time they've given me the phones that they've basically not bothered to repair. There was an iPhone 6 or 6S that they gave me a few years ago, and it probably, the parts on that particular phone probably saved another 10 iPhones of the same type. So it's really nice of them to do that. Some people are just really great like that. Some people, on the other hand, are not. I mean, yeah, it's up to the individual, of course. It'd be nice if everybody did do that, but it is an individual choice. Some people want to maintain possession of their equipment even if it's dead. It's just one of those things. Ask them to remove. Yeah, well, I'm going to do that once I can get the stuff off. So, getting back to what the original fault could have been, I believe, was it Mark? Mark, was it you? Sorry, I'm going to have to go back and make sure I'm talking to... Yeah, Mark Prince. Was it you that suggested that maybe it had taken a knock and something happened with the ball joins, and by us reheating it and reconnecting it, it's resolved it? Yeah, Abdullah, they'll also be able to do it from their other iPhone, of course, because they do have several other iPhones. Uh, yeah, I'm just trying to find old discussions. I know the person well, but okay, it's all the same phone number. Just gonna have to wait till tomorrow. It is a little late for them. They are wholesome country folk, which means they do go to sleep well before I do. But that's okay. We got it working, so that's the important thing. Oh, okay, Mark. It was someone else. I have to go back and look and see who it was. I'm just going to take this away. That on-off switch button still doesn't seem to do the trick. Tap to wake seems to work. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh well. Cancel. Sometimes I do get jobs in that are just 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Alright. Looks like I'm just going to have to disconnect the battery on this one. At least I know my screen works. Yeah, the problem here is I don't know if I actually want to even dedicated screen to this board. Maybe I'll just keep the... Maybe I'll just find more financial and work via... How you could just say, what's the word? Maybe this will be more valuable as a test chassis rather than as my own personal phone, because yeah, I've got my iPhone 7 Plus and I like that phone, and I probably don't want to change it in a hurry. I've got an XR as well that's just sitting around, so maybe for me it's more practical for me to keep those phones as known working phones, as it were. Okay, what am I doing here? GX. Alright, so at least I know that screen does work. How many tries do you get on that phone? Yeah, good question. Don't know. Oh, Barry, it was you that suggested the impact could have caused the fault. Because yeah, it was definitely shorted when I did it before, which is why I put it on the back burner, because I thought, well, I can't... I think I used alcohol on the board and I couldn't see any sort of activity there. And so I thought, right, well, it's probably internal. I don't have a separator, so I was just waiting for when I did get a separator before I decide to open it up and have a shot. And we've done that now. Interesting that this screen also died, but it might have been because of the crack I did to it. Yeah, Cecilia, I mean, I've got that orange iPhone XR and I don't know what to do with it. It's, the screen's got a little bit of liquid damage ingress into it, but to be fair, it has been useful as a check/comparison phone, and also for me to just simply play around with it and get used to it. Don't forget the sensors you transferred. Yeah, that's... I'll put the sensor right there. That's... one of the days you can... What? Hack... You should make a note on the screen that didn't work. Yeah, I probably should. I tell myself I'll remember, but I probably won't. I'm wondering if I should plug this in now. Maybe I didn't... I'm just going to try it again with the battery and the power. It probably is broken, but I just want to try again. Yeah, it does look like it is kaput too. I have a feeling I might have damaged the screen when I was trying to take it out, because this is the first time I've ever dealt with an X. Yeah, the screen's not working on this one. So, and it is liquid damaged anyway, so liquid damage probably got into that assembly there. Dead. I didn't do it, already buzzed. It did the Taptic engine buzz for me, so I knew it was already up and running. Okay, so we'll set that one aside. What is the time of the moment? Okay, it's already 12:30 at night, so I am going to wrap it up and get out of here. Thank you very much for watching. That was a bit of a different sort of experience for me. It's nice to be able to. This is generally how I prefer to do my learning. I'm not the sort of person that goes to tutorial, what do you call it, training centers or anything like that. I prefer to be given the device, given some sort of written schematics and construction or deconstruction guides, things like that, and then just sort of work my way through it, as opposed to being told by a teacher that, you know, you do these particular steps. Now, funnily enough, at school I was actually a perfectly good student. I was pretty much always A student, things like that, but I found that once I got to around about the age of 16, 17, I sort of really didn't enjoy that so much anymore, and I much preferred to go at it in my own way. So, like with my, I should have known though, as a kid with Legos, I would generally always throw the instructions away and build whatever I wanted to build, or replicate what they had just simply by looking at the picture rather than the instructions. But I think a lot of people do that. Ruslan, thank you for the 80 rubles. Appreciate that. Much appreciated. Hands-on learner, yeah, pretty much. So, alright, kinetic learning. I would have thought that'd be percussive maintenance learning, kind of the Fonzie style. Hit it until it breaks, and then put it back together. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it, and I might see you tomorrow. It's the weekend, so it's hard to say. I don't have any MacBooks that are scheduled for repair, so unless someone brings one in from locally, which doesn't happen, not lately, we may not have anything until Monday. But you never know. Something might come up. Anyway, you'll take care. I'll see you later.